Well, I know I skipped over pretty much everything, but it was quite a bit of work. This thing was extremely filthy. The oil passages and everything pretty much had to be redone. I don't know if it was just because of old oil or if somebody put the wrong stuff in there. I'm not sure, but all the little passages were just packed full of kind of what seemed like dirt, like it was dried up oil, I guess, or just dirt. So I cleaned everything out. I put I don't know if you can see it, but there's that metering unit. So oil just flows out of the one-shot oiler here, branches off. I do have some kind of clear line on there. I did buy a roll of the correct 5/32 heavy wall nylon tubing from H&W. But for right now I just have some of that kind of clear weed eater line on there, which is nice in a way because I can see that the oil is flowing, or if there's an air bubble or something there, you can kind of see it moving. But anyhow, that line goes up and feeds this distribution block, and all of those are check valves so that this thing doesn't lose its prime or all the oil doesn't drain back into another circuit. I took all these apart, put them in an ultrasonic cleaner, blew them out, made sure they worked. So I reused all those, and then I did have to make some new lines. Not all of them, but I did have to redo some that broke, which wasn't too bad. A little eighth project will be to maybe make some new handles for the locks. This one's in there, but it's bent. And the table, I honed it pretty good with that flat stone, being very mindful and careful with it. You can see there's puddled up oil on it now because what I've done with the head is basically just put a lot of thin oil on it, just to try to soften up any gunk that might be on it. I wiped everything down with mineral spirits and a rag, but I've basically just been pumping thin oil everywhere I can and into the oiling cups just to let it kind of drip out any dirt that might be in there. Everything feels really good. I pulled this down, the quill, I believe, and I can't feel any play in anything moving it. I'll have to stick the dial indicator on it. In fact, I guess I could do that now. I got these rags here for now. I do need to get the felts to go on here and on the backside and on the Z-axis knee. You see the ways turned out really nice. I guess these are chrome. Somebody commented on the last video that these are chrome. That's why they're in such nice condition. However, I believe this is called the saddle, or maybe the carriage, but on the bottom side of it, it's from pretty heavy wear. It was not chrome, and I guess maybe dirt has gotten in here and it's worn the saddle. So I hit it with the flat stone a little bit, try to smooth it up. You can see the gib, maybe not, but I've tightened the gib a lot to the point where it moves freely in the center, but when you get it all the way to the ends of the knee, it gets a little bit snug, but I can still move it by hand, like before I had the lead screw in it. So it's at least loose enough that I can move it by hand. Like I said, in the center it moves free, gets a little snug out here at the end, just pushing it back and forth. And I've kind of done the same with the table, though it feels pretty smooth all the way across, but it does get a little bit tight I think when you move it all the way to the left, it gets a little snug. See? Okay, maybe it's all the way to the right. It gets a little snug. Otherwise, it moves pretty good. Might just leave it like that for now. I still need to fix this, so you're not supposed to be able to pull that out. I believe inside this cover there's a snap ring from the H&W video. I'm just really trying to avoid tearing this whole head unit apart. There's just a lot going on. There's the speed reduction unit here, and then there's the lower section. And I'd like to power it up. It's 3-phase, so I'm just, supposedly you can rewire that and put a capacitor in, but that's probably not the most efficient, so I'm just gonna buy a VFD. You can get like this is a 1.5 horsepower motor, but I think if you're running off single phase 220, you should probably double it, because you're putting more strain on the rectifier diodes in the drive. So I'll probably put a 3 horsepower drive on it. And they're pretty cheap. I've seen them online. But I want to get it powered up and just see if this even works. You know, if I have a problem with it, then I'll have to tear it apart, but I would like to start using this a little bit. I got the dial indicator setting here. Not really sure what the correct way to do this is. I'll have to look it up kind of later, but just thought it'd be interesting to kind of see how much play is there. I've tightened this gib here, so that should keep the carriage saddle thing on the knee locked in place, I would think. Then I have this one loose here. I just kind of have the table about in the middle, maybe a little pushed to the left here. And I'll just kind of push on this table. Just like maybe a 15 thou. Seems like a lot, but I don't really know, to be honest. I'm pushing really hard. I mean, I'm putting all my weight into it. Pulling it with my weight that way. Pushing to the point where it looks like I'm kind of rocking the machine doing that. So I don't know. And I'm sure it's pretty worn out. I'll have to look up, I'll have to do some research and see, because I really don't know if that's good or not. It doesn't sound good. 15 thou, that seems like an awful lot when you're trying to machine something within a couple thou. But I don't know how that works exactly. I can tighten the gibs up a little more, but it does get a bit snug when it's all the way one extreme or the other. Something else I thought would be interesting to check is this quill. I've extended down almost the whole way. And again, I'm sure this isn't quite the right way. And it doesn't seem to be moving at all, so I think that's good. Hopefully I can convince the machinist at work to come over, maybe with a case of beer or something. Help me get this thing set up and check it out. See how bad it is. But I think for what I do is fine. I'm not trying to machine cylinder heads. Mostly put bolt patterns and plates, things like that. which I know a drill press can do, but I got a pretty good deal on this, and I'm sure I'll need to do some milling operations or some facing operations. Hopefully that play I looked at in the table isn't too bad, and I can actually do like some slots or something like that accurately. I'll have to install a DRO on it since it doesn't have one. So that's going to be the next step, is going to be one, run 220, as I don't have a 220 outlet here. No big deal. I have an extra spot in the breaker, so I'm just going to run that, put an outlet, and then I have the reversing switch. It goes up here. But like I said, I think I'm just going to mount a VFD. Probably just bolt the VFD right there on the side. I can have some fine-tune speed adjustment. And then use the variable speed here a little less. Maybe that'll extend its life or something, I don't know. But I get a VFD, get it wired up to the motor, just make it plug into the wall. And hopefully start taking my first cuts on it. The dynos are still here, or the retarders, or power absorbers, whatever you would like to call them. They've turned into tables, I know. It's not good, but I need to get the mill put together so that I can move on to these. So for now, what I'm going to do is move these out of the way and start working on the design for the frame. And then maybe we'll be able to make some parts on the mill. If not, I'll get them sent out or see if my buddy can do it. There's options. But just be patient with me. The weather's been cold. If it's cold, I can't go outside. It's just, I mean, I can go outside, but I'm not going to get anything done. As soon as I go outside, my hands and feet just get numb, so not very productive during the winter months. But we are making some progress. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. Bye.